Good day. We have got to the most important and glorious part of the Renaissance, the Elizabethan era. Do you know what happened here? Why is this so important? What Elizabethan authors do you know? So, taking where we left in the previous video, after Edward's death, his sister Mary first got the crown. Then Mary's death marked the start of the first of these literary periods, with the coronation of her sister Elizabeth Tudor. As the name suggests, this period comprises her reign in England. Despite the conflicts, it is considered as the greatest moment for literature during the Renaissance. In the case of prose, Francis Bacon, yes, the philosopher, became the first English essayist. He is famous for his essays. Otherwise, in poetry, we have Edmund Spenser, Philip Sidney, and Thomas Campion. Here, poems intended to be set to music as songs became popular as printed literature was disseminated more widely in households. Before we continue, it is important to talk a little bit about Edmund Spenser. His first important work, The Sheepherder's Calendar, had a pastoral framework. Nevertheless, he is also the author of The Faerie Queene, an epic poem and fantastical allegory celebrating the Tudor dynasty, and Elizabeth I. There, the Red Cross Knight, the Anglican Church, fights to protect the Virgin Una, the true religion, against the wiles of many hostile characters, including the deceitful Duessa, the Roman Catholic Church, or Mary Queen of Scots. It is evident from these details that the poem is deeply rooted in national politics, and many of its allusions must have been of far greater interest to contemporary readers than to any generation since. Spenser himself is a close witness of the struggles of the time. On the other hand, this was also the golden age of English drama. Gorboduc, by Sackville and Norton, developed elements from the earlier morality plays and Senecan tragedy in a direction which would be followed by later playwrights. Likewise, the Spanish tragedy written by Thomas Kidd was popular and influential in its time, and established a new genre in English literature theater, the revenge play. Focus on that, you will see later why I told you. Other important figures include Ben Jonson, Thomas Dekker, William Shakespeare, and Christopher Marlowe. It is true that William Shakespeare stands out in this period as a poet and playwright. But before him there was another figure that took London's stages and engaged all its inhabitants, Christopher Marlowe. His first play, Tamburlaine the Great, has a main character who reveals in the power which his conquest bring him, and the verse conveys brilliantly his sense of excitement. Otherwise, we have The Jew of Malta, a melodrama of revenge. Dr. Faustus, inspired by the recent biography of Faust, and Edward II, the first play to dramatize English history as a conflict between real characters. Now, it's time to talk about the most known writer in English literature, William Shakespeare. He wrote plays in a variety of genres. He dramatized English history with the three parts of Henry VI, the magnificent melodrama of Richard III, the subtle character study of Richard II, the jingoistic glories of Henry V, and the superb pair of plays about Henry IV and his wayward son Prince Hal, where he presented a rich panorama of English life from court and battlefield to tavern and rustic retreat. Meanwhile, Shakespeare has developed a sweet and delicate strain of romantic poetry, seen first in the tragic romance of Romeo and Juliet, and then in the comic romance A Midnight Summer Night's Dream. And he has shown his skill in a more knock-about vein of comedy too. In general, though, Shakespeare's palette darkens with the new century. The new few years see some much less sunny comedies, and his four great tragedies. Sadly, we have to stop here for now, because his career continued in the Jacobean period. Our next video will show you some more authors and how the dark palette comes to life. Don't worry, this part of the Renaissance is the longest of the four, and it has some of the most known authors. But if you survived this and also the Jacobean, you will survive the rest. I have some questions for you. Did you expect to see Shakespeare here? Have you read any of his works? Which one? What did you think? Leave the answers in the comments section. In order to digest all this information, I suggest you to watch the video a couple of times and write down the most important aspects for you. Try to discuss with your classmates about it. If you have any doubt or you want more information, you can send me an email. I shall see you soon.